are pushing away from one variable on one side to multiple variables on both sides. So we have a variable on each side. So what we've done is worked these out for you. So these are your references. So if your notes taking in our class isn't the greatest, you will have this as a reference. This is going to be what will help you. We're going to go down and work through some examples and exercises with you. There is not sufficient space, ladies and gentlemen, to do these problems here. You need a sheet of notebook paper. If you do not have notebook paper, we can get you a sheet of notebook paper. If you have a notebook, take it out now. What? Okay, well, phone's away. Take out your notebook paper for me. Does anybody need a sheet of notebook paper? You need notebook paper?
No, I just want to know what we need calculators.
Yes, of course you could use a calculator. Anybody need a sheet of notebook paper? Where's your notebook paper? Where's your notebook? Do you have a notebook for this class? Okay, then you need that paper. And I want you to type with it right at the top of this title. Okay, do you need a sheet next? If you're using your notebook, before you begin, right at the top of that page, what this assignment is. You will remember later. So at the top of that page, put 2-4, study guide, and intervention exercises. If you're like me and you like to be super organized, put the date at the top. Today is 2/18/2021. And then we're going to work through some problems. Number 1, 6 minus b equals 5b plus 30. In order to solve a problem with a variable on both sides of the equation, I need to get the variables on one side and the numbers on the other. So to solve an equation with the same variables on two sides, we have to use our properties to get it so the equation has a variable on one side and the numbers on the other. So does anybody have something they want me to do first to move the variable? Because you have two choices, kind of. Abby, what do you do? Yep, we can do that. So you want to subtract 6 from 30. So guys, notice how I stack up my numbers. 6 minus 6 goes away. Bring down your negative b. Bring down your equals. Bring down your 5b. And then 30 minus 6 is what? Go ahead, Dominique.
24.
Perfect. So now I have negative b equals 5b plus 24. So I need to get the b's together. So Zoe, what do you think I'm going to do? Perfect. I'm going to subtract 5b from both sides. That equal sign in math is kind of like a river. If you're crossing the river, you got to do the same thing on both sides of the river. So there's my river. I moved the 5b's. So this side's gone. Negative b minus 5b. Now you got to be careful. That becomes a bigger negative. What do you think, Dominique?
Negative 6b.
Yep. Perfect. And then the last thing we have to do is divide both sides, Madison. Excellent. And B equals what? Zoe? Good. Okay, now you guys see why we couldn't fit this on that sheet of paper. Number 2. All right, so I have 5y minus 2y equals 3y plus 2. All right, Zoe, what do you think? Okay, so we'd have 5y minus 2y minus 3y equals 3y minus 3y plus 2. So those go away. What's it called when I have all the same variables on one side, but they're not together yet? What do I do to these 3 terms? There's a process. What do you think, Dominique?
Don't you have a subtraction?
Yeah, I'm going to subtract all the other ones together. So when I subtract the 2 and the 3 together, that's called combining like terms. So we're going to combine the same terms together. So 5 minus 2 becomes 3y. 3y minus 3y becomes 0y. We get 0y equals 2. So can 0 y's equal 2? Does 0 equal the number 2? No. So what do I write down for this problem? No solution. Excellent.
They didn't waste any time in throwing in that curveball, did they?
No, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, did I do that? Right? Like, okay, number 3. $5x plus 2 equals 2x minus 10. 5x plus 2 equals 2x minus 10.
What do you want to do, Lynn? You can start us off. Well, you have to, what do you have to do to move the 2x over? That's what you wanted to do, so what do you have to do? That's it, you have to subtract 2x from both sides. Do the right idea to start with. Make sure you use the right word so you don't confuse yourself.
Okay, be very careful, guys. When you're bringing this term down, this is a negative in front of your 10. Do not lose that negative when you bring it down, okay? What do we want to do next, Nevaeh? What? So tell me what's happening right now. Read this out loud to me. What does this say when you read that whole statement out loud? I am going to subtract. But the reason I wanted you to read it out loud is sometimes when you say it, it helps you see what the opposite is. So in my head, I'm going, okay, 3x plus 2. What's the opposite of plus? Minus. So that helps me figure out what I need to do in order to move it. So does anybody recall we had it as a vocabulary word? What is positive 2 and negative 2? What are these two numbers to each other? Wait. It's two words.
Opposite inverse.
Close. Inverse.
Close. Very close.
What's the first word?
Inverse.
Well, the inverse part is right. You got that right. So what's the first word?
You're saying first word is
Starts with an A. It's something inverse. Something inverse. Remember what it is?
Anybody else got it? What?
Abby's got it.
Yeah, I thought Abby said it. Yeah, additive. They're additive inverses of each other. So when you add two opposites together, they become 0. So you get 3x equals, if you add two negatives together, what do you get? A bigger negative, right? And I heard somebody say it, negative 12. Okay, Luke, what's my last step? Good? Perfect. Any idea on what my check step would look like if I wanted to check these? What do you think, Madison? Good? Excellent. And then you could just take a calculator, guys, and add up all the numbers on the left, add up all the numbers on the right, and make sure that what's on the left equals what's on the right. So that would be negative 20 plus 2, so you got negative 18. And then here you get negative 8 minus 10, so we get negative 18. So we pass the check. All right, I hate to go out of order with you. We'll have time. Let's do 4, and I want to make sure we do 5. Okay, number 4. So Logan, what do you want to do first in number 4? Do you want to move the ends or the numbers?
Move the ends.
All right, so what would you do? Which end do you want to move?
3.
Perfect. So am I going to add or subtract it?
Subtract.
Excellent. Okay, Nick, so that leaves your last decision. I got n minus 8 equals 2. How do I get n alone? Okay, so 8's currently being subtracted. So the additive inverse of subtraction is what? What's the inverse of subtract? Okay, so I'm not subtracting 8 to the other side. I need to add 8 to both sides. So we get n equals 10. That one was nice. You know, it's not nice, number 5. What do you think, Landon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to write the 1 in front of the n. It's just a simple there.
Sorry. Didn't mean to confuse you, Landon. But yes, the 1 is implied. All right, we got decimals. I said I wanted to do number 5 with ya. So you have 1.2x plus 4.3 equals 2.1 minus x. So who wants to do what first? All right, Zoe, what do you want to do? Thank you, because that's what I wanted to do as well. And I was like, oh, I hope she's on my page. So what's 1.2 plus 1? Madison? Excellent. Go ahead. I was trying to see if I had a calculator back here. I don't.
Well, so Abby, the x right here is the same as saying 1x, because 1 times x is just x, and 1 times anything is that number. So we're adding it over there to 1.2. This is the same as saying 1.0x plus 1.2. And so when we add those together, we keep the x, add this decimal place first, and then add your 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nevaeh wants to do it.
All right, Nevaeh. Excellent. All right. So, 2.1 minus 4.3. You can use a calculator. Well, oh, go ahead, Nevaeh. What you got? Perfect. So, what do we do next? Dominique? Yes, you do. And what happens when we divide the same thing by itself? What do you get, Dominique? Oh, never mind. What do you think? What? Yes. So any number divided by itself is 1. So 4 divided by 4, 2.2 divided by 2.2, it's 1. So x equals -1. All right, guys. I want you to just do 4 problems for me tonight. Do 6 to 9, or yeah, 6 through 9. That's it. You're doing 6 through 9.
You're gonna love the fractions.
I know. You can turn all the fractions to decimals.
Yeah, you could do that.
So if you want to change, because they're all nice fractions. So you could change the fractions to decimals. Are we okay with that? So that would be like 0.5b plus 4. Okay. I'm going to make you do those on your calculator. I know what 1/8 is, but...